back to some maths. We're focusing on number, specifically looking at rounding to the nearest 10. Now, when we round into the nearest 10, actually, although we're focusing on where the tens are in a number, whether that be 62, or whether it be 162 or greater, it's still the tens we're focusing on. However, it's the ones that play an important role on impacting on rounding to that nearest 10. Hence why I've got our number line drawn out with 0 through to 10 showing our ones. And it's important to note that our halfway point is 5. And that has a really big impact on our rounding rule. Because if our number is 5 or more, so if it's greater than 5, we're going to round up. So if it's 5 or more, we round up. Therefore meaning, if it's 4 or below, we're going to round down. And as you can see on my number line, the reason for that is once we've got to that halfway point, we're actually not going to go backwards. We're going to round up. So as we move up the number line, that's what I mean by rounding up. And if we haven't quite got to 5, so if it's either still 0, 1, 2, 3 or 4, we round down. So it's that halfway point that's really kind of important to decide whether we round up or down, because there's only 2 directions we can go. And you can see from our example here, the tens are a 6, but although we're rounding in tens, it's actually the ones we have to look at, because we have to think about if that number's to the nearest 10, is it closer to 160, because that's in our tens, or is it close to 170? So we could actually put 16 in front of all of them, and then we can replicate our number line. And we've got 162. So 162 is only here, whereas 170 is going to be all the way up there, and 116. So our midpoint would be 165. Whereas you can see here, it's only at a 2, so it's only 162. So actually, it's all the way down here. So we're nowhere near rounding up to 170. And as we follow our rounding rule, 4 and below, and it's a 2, it's less than 4. So we're going to round down. So this would be our correct answer. So as you can see, I've got 3 numbers, and we're going to follow the same steps to success each time. So the first thing we're going to do is identify where the tens are in that number. When I've got 73, there are only tens and ones. I'm going to underline it. You might want to put a little T above it instead. It's up to you, as long as you notify that's the number that's changing. And then we circle the ones, because that's going to tell us whether we're going to be rounding up or down. Then you're going to write the 2 choices. If it was rounding down, it would be 170. If it's rounding up, it would be 180. And then we know it's 3, so it's 4 and below, so it rounds down. So we're going to tick the 70, that's the correct answer. Same again for our second number, it's a 3-digit number. Find our tens by underlining it. Circle our ones, because that's what we're going to focus on. And constantly think about our number line. 5's in the middle. So 5 and above, we round up, so let's put our 2 answers. So it could either be 240, or it might round up to 250. So we look at our ones, and it's a 6. So 5 and above, well, 5 comes after 6, so it's going to round up. So it's going to be 250. Now we've got a 4-digit number. Identify where our tens would be. Well, there aren't any, but it would still be there. That's our tens position. And we circle the ones. And we're going to think carefully about what the 2 choices are. So below would be 1,200, and above would be 1,210. And we've got a 9, it's above 5, so we know it's going to round up. So we know it's rounding up to 1,210 being our correct answer. So just to recap our steps to success. First of all, identify your tens, then circle your ones. Then you're going to write your two possible answers, one below, one above, for rounding down and rounding up. Make sure you refer to the rounding rule. It might be worth writing that down near your workings out. And you're going to tick your correct answer. So here you can see 3, it rounded down. 6, it rounds up. 9, it rounds up. So what I'd like you to do is have a go at those 3 questions, and there's a challenge underneath, so there are actually 4 questions. Make sure you copy them out, write your 2 answers, and then tick the correct one. So pause the video, have a go, and then we'll go through some answers. Okay, hopefully you had enough time. I'm just going to put the correct answers. I've already modelled how to do the working out. You should have been patient and done so. So we should have had 60 was our nearest 10. Then we had 100. Bit tricky, that one. 130. And our challenge was quite similar to question B, in that it actually impacted on the tens, that then impacted on the hundreds, that then impacted on the thousands. So our answer should have been 2,000. So as always, have a go at creating some of your own numbers. They can be totally random numbers, and it's up to you whether they're 2-digit, 3-digit, 4-digit or more. Identify where the tens are. Circle the ones, because that's going to impact on the tens. And then write your round down and your round up answer, and then tick the correct one. So create some questions of your own and have a go.